And that is not the end of the Lanka potboiler. The country is on a selling spree, it seems, and that too has become a political issue. First, Sri Lanka gave the Hambantota port on a 99-year lease to China. Then it okayed the Colombo port city, a $1 billion mega project funded by China. Now, the island nation is mulling a law to enable Sri Lankan citizens to sell land even to foreigners. Have a look at this report.
The sleepy hamlet of Hambantota on the southern tip of Sri Lanka was a fishing village until it transformed into a port city built with Chinese assistance. Today, Hambantota is synonymous with how China has succeeded in expanding its geopolitical footprint in the strategically located Indian Ocean island. Unable to service its loan, Sri Lanka gave the multi-billion-dollar port on a 99-year lease to China. The Sri Lankan government also handed over 15,000 acres of land around the port to the Chinese. That's not all. It seems the Sri Lankan government wants to sell the family silver by allowing China to get itself involved in other infrastructure projects such as railways and the ambitious Colombo port city project. China has built a rail line in Sri Lanka under its Belt and Road Initiative. It is the first railway line to be built in the island nation since its independence. The railway line links Matara and Beliata in the southern part of the island. The 26.75-kilometer long Matara-Beliata railway line includes the longest and second longest railway bridges of 1.5 kilometer and 1.04 kilometer respectively. A Chinese state-owned company has won a contract to supply rail containers to Sri Lanka. The same company had earlier won a contract to supply railway engines for the project. The Colombo Port City project is another ambitious project in which China is involved. The new mini-city will be built entirely on land reclaimed from the sea, all 700 acres of it. It is a multi-billion-dollar project. In fact, it is the single largest foreign direct investment in Sri Lanka's history. And here again, China will get more than 100 hectares of land meant for the project on a 99-year lease. And now, the Sri Lankan government wants to sell more land by enacting what is known as the State Land Special Provisions Bill. The government tabled it in the federal legislature on the 28th of June. But already, some lawmakers have moved the country's top court against the bill. Some in Sri Lanka fear that people in debt would be tempted to sell the land to the highest bidder, possibly foreigners. Given the competition between China and the United States for influence in Sri Lanka, some political parties opposed to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe claim that it would allow American multinational companies to own large tracts of land. Bureau Report.